So I understand that this is your first trip to Korea.
Yeah.
And that you've been in Korea now for about 24 hours. Can you tell us your first impressions of the opening ceremony or of the city in general?
The opening ceremony was splendid. The music was beautiful. And the ceremony itself. And then to hear Sumi Jo sing in addition to that, magical.
Yeah.
The entire presentation, it was on a grand scale.
So this was your first time working with Paolo Sorrentino?
Yeah.
Can you tell us your impressions of his previous work and what it was that inspired you to take
What
part in this?
inspired me to work with him was seeing his previous work, The Great Beauty, which is a masterpiece, and Il Divo, which is another masterpiece. Have you seen the movie?
Yes, I have.
Oh, you have seen it? Okay.
Yes. I mean, the film starts with the role of the composer, but I think that your character leaves a particularly strong impression. What do you feel are kind of the defining characteristics of your character, and what kind of attracted you to this character?
Now, speaking to a boy from Massachusetts, I think you're going to understand me when I say it's very difficult for me to talk about the character because it's part of a totality of the movie, of all the other characters. And I make these movies, I tell these stories in the hopes that I'll meet people who see the movie and they'll tell me what they thought about themselves in the movie. I don't know how to explain myself in the movie. It's just really very difficult. The story means a lot to me, and it's such a profound piece. I mean, I could have played one of the women's parts as well. It would be as significant as any other part in the movie. So I'm trying to find a language to better answer your question, Darcy.
Is there a particular scene in the film that left a particularly strong impression on you, or that you think you'll remember?
You know, I'm going to speak about it. I don't know if I should, though, but I'm going to. The answer is yes, there is. I'm afraid to, because it's about the last scene in the movie.
One of the themes in the film is kind of the relationship between art and age. I mean, the composer character has retired. I mean, your character is accused of losing his touch as he gets older. But I think, your career is an example of the opposite, that you are doing incredible things at this stage in your career. I'm wondering if you have any thoughts on what age brings to filmmakers.
Well, we all know that there's been great art, literature, dance, cinema, theater, what have you, by people who are older than Michael and myself. The literature, all the art speaks of that. So it's been answered by those artists doing it. And here I am, and here's Michael Caine doing it, and Jane Fonda.
No, there were amazing performances, and I think that.
Well, thank you.
We really feel that in the film.
Thank you. Well, the Paolo Sorrentino is some writer. He's a profound thinker, and he combined that with the music of the movie, which is astonishing to me. Simple song is an astonishing piece of work. The lyrics as well as the music. I don't know how you speak about those things. That's why we go to the theater and cinema and read and dance, is to experience that. And for me, I wouldn't be trying to be artsy if I said the movie is an experience for me, and it still is. I'm not sure I'm finished filming it.
In your career, you've worked with a number of directors multiple times. Could you see yourself potentially working with director Sorrentino again in the future?
I can only hope so.
And in general, I'd like to ask, how do you choose your films? Throughout your career, you've worked with, in particular, new directors who have gone on to accomplish incredible things in their career.
That's been luck on my part. Something's at work when that happens, granted, but I don't know what it is really. You read something. Well, let me put it this way: the a colleague of mine from the actor studio called me one day and said, hello, I have a script, a screenplay I think you're going to like. It was Reservoir Dogs. I read it, and I called Quentin and said I wanted to do the movie. Now, he had never directed a frame of film in his life, but what he wrote was a masterpiece on the page, and then he stepped up to that page when he directed the movie and created another masterpiece, and on to Pulp Fiction. So, what comes first here, the chicken or the egg? I don't know. But it began with that woman from the actor studio calling me to say she has a screenplay she thinks I would like. And then, my good luck, it's happened a number of times to me. The first-time writer-directors, Marty Scorsese, and there are others, Ridley Scott, and well, Jane Campion's near first film. It wasn't the first one; it was the first major one. And I'm leaving out somebody I know, but I don't know. I'm not sure who.
You have 3 films that are coming in the future, 2 that are in the can, 1 more that's in production. Can you tell us what sort of image we can see of you coming up?
Well, I just finished one in London with an Indian director whose name is Me Too. I have to check out his last name. Misera, I think, but I should check that out for you. But Me Too is a fellow born in India. He lives in Bradford, England. And that film is called Lies We Tell. And then there's one Adam Sandler directed called The Ridiculous Six. And all I can say is, it is. And then, oh, come on, Harvey. Isn't there another one? Oh, yes.
Is Gandhi of the Month?
Oh, wow, Gandhi of the Month. Well, that was done a few years ago in India. Yeah, a beautiful story. But isn't there one I just did? No, well, I just did a very small voiceover in Wes Anderson's new film that he's doing now, an animated film.
You have a little bit of time left in Korea. I mean, you'll be doing a hand printing ceremony tomorrow.
Yes, I heard about that, yeah. I didn't know what it was until today, because I was told in New York that it was putting my hand in the sand, that they make a giant sand image of my hand. But now I'm told it's more like in Hollywood, putting your hand in something.
Yeah, it will be in a mold and it will be preserved for the... How do you plan to spend the rest of your time in Korea?
Every day has been a discovery for me. This is a new culture I'm in. And the experience of it is just exciting to me, wonderful to me. I came to meet the Korean people with our story and to learn about their stories. And that's why I come to a festival. I think festivals are a great thing, a great event. I hope people come and come and come so we can exchange stories, because that's how we're going to make real progress.
Okay, well, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Darcy.
It's been wonderful talking to you.
Nice to talk to you. Okay.